Hello, welcome back and welcome in. My name is Nikki Wheeler, and if you're interested in gaming, go subscribe to my other channel and follow my Twitch to see my gaming live. Now, let's start this video. Today, I will be discussing Charlie Puth. He is definitely most known for his Fast and Furious track See You Again, but he also has some of his own hits like Attention, Marvin Gaye, and Light Switch. He has also garnered major attention over his remarkable music talent when it comes to producing because of his imaginative mind using silly things like a fork hitting a glass object and tuning it to a pleasant sound. Over the years, Charlie has gained a lot of attention, and there is good reason. He started to release his music in 2010, but didn't get a major record debut until 2016 with Atlantic, where he released his first studio album titled 9-Track Mind. This one was a pop and contemporary pop record with some obvious R&B inspirations. He took into account the time period and what was popular at this time for his features and was meticulous. The title of the album suggests that Charlie has a busy mind, but it seems he sticks to his main point of affectionate and sensitive persona with a chill vibe. What most of this record lacks in instrumental, he makes up for with impressive vocal range and decent lyrics that are relatable to the common person within the love world. Some of my favorite songs in here were Marvin Gaye, Some Type of Love, and Dangerously. With the song Marvin Gaye, Puth is joined by the hitmaker Meghan Trainor, where she takes the stage for one of her best features in all of her career. The song was named after the iconic Motown singer who evokes a hugely soulful sound, and the name is a euphemism for the strong emotion and passion Marvin puts into his own tracks. The whole point of the song was to let go of inhibitions and embrace desire, proven by the lyric, "Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on. You've got the healing that I want," just like they say in the song, "Until the dawn, let's Marvin Gaye and get it on." That's just the chorus, too. In the verses, it describes the privacy and intimacy of the encounter, and we have yet another strong bridge. It does repeat a previous line, and I find it to be smooth, and it kind of acts as a good buffer before ending the song. The power of music is truly inspiring in many ways, and this is just one of them. And I think Charlie and Meghan convey that very well with lyrics and the visuals in the music video. To its downfall, though, Meghan does seem to be front and center, even when she isn't singing, because for one, her verse to me is just that memorable. But I also personally like her vocals much better than Charlie's. It was a light shove to the sidelines rather than taking the song with a massive snatch, but nonetheless, she did take it. The next song I liked was Some Type of Love. This one is on the same track of being heartfelt, but more on the transcending love rather than the intimacy side. There was a focus image of unbreakable bonds and unwavering commitment to this one person, and I love the verbiage that Charlie puts in this one. It is picturesque, and he envisions a future and all the what-ifs of their life together. It's beautiful. The chorus emphasizes these points on intense love and commitment, and he expresses that being together is enough to give purpose to his life. There's also a sense of depth within the second verse and bridge that is indescribable. They just kind of flow so easily, and it still felt majorly underperformed. Though I love this song, I know my limits, and I can see if Charlie performed this song today, he would do so much better. I think he has finally found his niche nearly 10 years after his debut. The next song, Dangerously, was one of the best performed songs as a solo act. I highly enjoyed the high notes as they were impressive and remained constant. That being said, this one is simplistic in the songwriting, which isn't horrible. Some songs just need to be simple to achieve its audience and goals. This one is simply the consequences of your actions while in love with a person or acting out of love. The chorus is telling us that they wouldn't care if they got hurt if they got to love someone. It's one of those songs you listen to even when not relating to it directly because it feels so addicting and like you could see and imagine yourself doing something stupid or dangerous out of care or love for someone. And it doesn't have to be romantic love either. I see this one as one big umbrella song because it could apply to all sorts of love and feelings. The second verse has got to be my favorite part just because it has a dynamic shift where the singer was the weaker one and the other person was a train heading right for them. It highlights the instability doing something like this, but you would do it over again if it meant the other person was happy. Simple messages to someone you care about is what I find most important. And with the bigger messages, they truly are big and can harm both parties, but it would be worth it. There are also some huge misses on this album for me, like Suffer or Nothing But Trouble. Both of these songs didn't really age well in any sense, that is. The music itself is decent, but it wasn't like the rest of the record. Now, the next album, released only 2 years after this one, titled Voice Notes, was much, much better as Charlie developed his sound and became a radio success. Critically, it ranks higher, but personally, it wasn't for me. Some of the top tracks were obviously Attention, The Way I Am, Somebody Told Me, and Empty Cups. The first song, Attention, is calling out this person who's trying to get attention despite the lack of effort or commitment, and the singer accuses them of purposefully stirring up drama for this reason. I think it is a reflection on the idea that love is a two-way street and cannot be sustained if only one of the two people involved puts in effort. Again, I love that Charlie hits his notes so well and is always accurate. The song structure of this one is also highly palatable to most people, which is why I think it got so popular. It can also just count towards many situations like a best friend, family member, colleagues, and romantic partners. It's just a good call-out song for sure, and at its peak was doing the most in Charlie Puth's career. The next song, The Way I Am, is expressing anxiety and the struggles behind it, tackling insecurity in a world where everyone wants to have fame. These uncomfortable feelings tend to shut people out, and Charlie expresses that well, talking about shutting down and hiding rather than putting himself out there to be judged. And despite wanting to connect with others, he feels as though people don't want to know him past surface level. This one is one of the more relatable tracks for me personally, and it is strictly because of the previous comment. I feel like not a lot of people try that hard for deeper friendships anymore and can't go past simple small talk. Trying to expand your social circle is probably one of the more difficult processes because it is all about connection and the vibe of the person. If you don't click, you don't, but if you can't get past your favorite colors, did you even try? Charlie then moves into a revelation of his own where he says he doesn't deserve the fame because he's gotten over the past few years and struggles with imposter syndrome. I can also say this one is highly relatable because as an art student, seeing everyone else succeed so well, you start to feel isolated and you tend to ask yourself, why are you even there, or what are you doing? It is an all-consuming thought that can ruin somebody's self-image. The chorus goes into the acceptance piece and how it is a choice to love or hate something or somebody, which is a great takeaway, and I hoped to see more of this person Charlie has grown to be like in this song, aka the more sad but still heartfelt. The next song is Somebody Told Me. This song is about the spreading rumors of a potential betrayal in a relationship. The singer recounts a past experience where they celebrated their partner's birthday and met their entire family. However, on the way home, the partner's suspicious behavior of constantly looking on their phone raises concerns. As he questions, the partner becomes dismissive, which is yet another red flag thrown way up. The bridge and final chorus are my favorite parts of the song because they further iterate the singer's regret, acknowledging that they should have noticed the signs of the partner's infidelity and that they were not the only one in the partner's life. The song concludes by spotlighting the pain of realizing it. Finally, for this album, I wanted to talk about Empty Cups. With this track, it describes an intimate moment between two people who are at a party but are only focused on each other. The song seems to be about two people who are attracted to each other and want to escape from the party to a private room where they can be alone. The title is a metaphor for the idea that they are only focused on each other and not on anything else in the environment. Throughout the song, Puth emphasizes the idea of being alone and isolated from the outside world, represented by turning up the television so nobody can listen on their intimate moment. This point stands in on the second verse, and it's why it's my favorite. It tells a different scenario rather than just slipping away hastily. You get small details, which I loved. With all of that being said though, this record has some downs too. I actually don't mind most of this one, but some complete misses for me were Slow Me Down, Through It All, and How Long. They just didn't hit the nail and sealed this album as the worst, though it is still a pretty decent album. I understand the popularity and how some songs did do better than others, but I don't listen to Charlie that much, but hearing this album in full, it is heavily determined and full of passion for sure. It just needs some more tuning on the aforementioned, and I think it would be much better. The third and final album thus far is simply titled Charlie. It was released in 2022 and came with 12 songs and one really, really good feature. My favorites off this were That's Hilarious, Light Switch, Left and Right with Jungkook from BTS, When You're Sad I'm Sad, and Marks on My Neck. With the song That's Hilarious, Charlie combines the ugly and beautiful together. It starts with pretty chords, and then the pre-chorus lyric comes in saying, "You took away a year of my fucking life," which isn't exactly subtle. There's also this bass that chimes in at some point that makes the sound super distorted, and it helps amplify that feeling of distraught and uncomfortableness. He addresses his ex-partner who is now trying to reconnect with him after causing him pain. The song ultimately conveys a sense of empowerment and moving on from a toxic relationship. I also just kind of love the background vocals of him just laughing after saying that's hilarious. It's very consoling in a way where it's laughing at the person he is addressing, but laughing with himself and the listener. Then you go into a song like Light Switch, where it is a faster paced song, and Charlie himself said that this song was made right after he helped write Stay with Justin Bieber, so he was in the mood to make a faster music and compared it to the cartoonish ways of making movement and all the noises that come with. The song talks about the ups and downs of a relationship where one partner only wants to use the other for their own satisfaction, and the other partner keeps falling for it despite knowing it's wrong. The lyrics describe the narrator's frustration with their partner's behavior of acting like lovers but not committing to being in a real relationship. And despite the obvious corniness of being turned on like a light switch, I think the song is fairly good lyrically. It didn't need to be overt or anything, but I think it could use some variety when it comes to the bridge and oh my god, I'm criticizing a bridge for the first time. I only say this though because it is literally just the chorus split up. So they run together. It's like the chorus just over again at that point, so why even make the bridge? The next song, Left and Right, featured Jungkook from BTS, and it's about a person who is haunted by memories of a past relationship and is finding it hard to get over. The chorus emphasizes how the person can feel the presence of their former partner no matter what they do, and they're consumed by thoughts of them. The verses go on to describe the struggles they endure after being left behind and the difficulty in trying to forget them. The bridge with this one was also a letdown, but still fairly good. It acknowledges that their partner is the one that got away and expresses regret, while the outro emphasizes the impact of that person. Now, with this song in particular, the title is a nod to the sound Charlie uses a spatial effect to make, so it sounds like it's coming in and out of each ear, as he says, I can feel you over here, I can feel you over here. I think that is one of the unique things about Charlie in this album, is it is still experimenting while he remains the sole focus. There's a feeling of recognizability in his music that can't be replicated, and I can't applaud him for that. Moving on, we have When You're Sad, I'm Sad, which is obviously not fast compared to Light Switch. This one explores the common struggle of wanting to move on from a toxic relationship but not being able to let go of the emotional attachment of the other person. The lyrics suggest that the narrator has tried to move on from this person, but every time they do try, the other person comes back and begs them to not go. Furthermore, the lyrics state that the other person knows exactly how to make Charlie fall for them again, indicating that they may be using emotional tactics to keep him around. The bridge explains that well and very simply, quite literally just stating that. It is another one of those titles that is self-explanatory, which is what made me love it more. I love intricate art, but simplicity can also have its shining moments. Musically, it's mainly just piano, and it helps highlight those feelings of how the thought process worked on the singer swallowing his pride to console this emotionally manipulative person. You can make the instant connection with the song even if you haven't done any of the actions or related to the subject matter just because of how the notes worked well with the lyrics. The delivery allowed us as listeners to walk in the shoes of Charlie. Now, the final song I wanted to talk about was Marks on My Neck. It explored the themes of vulnerability, regret, and gradual process of healing and letting go. Initially, starting with the fact that he had woken up with marks on his neck as a memory of the night previous, and ending with how those marks started to fade as a metaphor for the healing process. To me, I think the song really shows the quote-unquote perfect pitch Charlie has been known to brag about and show. The notes were crazy, and how the music beat went along with his voice in the verses was definitely probably my favorite part. Lyrically, this song is good, but it is the weaker one of all of the ones I've mentioned. Now, this is where I'll be moving into the rankings of the album. This is on a best to worst scale and takes lyrics, music composition, and vocal capabilities into account. At number 1, I had Charlie. Number 2 is 9-Track Mind, and number 3 is Voice Notes. As much as critics didn't like 9-Track Mind in the long run, especially with the new content Charlie has put out, I still find it nostalgic and it sits well musically and lyrically. Like I said before, there are some aged songs, but I think most artists who were popular in the 2010s have those really sour lyrics in today's world. In such a short amount of time, Charlie has become one of the most beloved pop singers and still maintains himself and is true with his lyrics. His adaptive sound, stemming from the Motown origins and new age techniques, just makes a perfect couple. Overall, I don't actually listen to Charlie that much, but the songs that are in my playlist hit whenever they come on. The growth and vulnerability and how he shows it has also changed and has worked out, and I can't wait to see what he puts out next to see what has changed again. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Comment down below for who I should cover next, and until next time, bye guys.